Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a momentous occasion here at FISE Montpellier 2024. Today, we gather not only to witness the electrifying BMX Spine Ramp final, but also to honor the memory of a true legend in our midst. With heavy hearts yet boundless enthusiasm, we pay tribute to the late Pat Casey, a beloved figure in the BMX community and a shining star of FISE contests past. Pat's spirit, talent, and passion for BMX will continue to inspire us all. And today, as we watch these incredible athletes soar through the air, we do so with Pat firmly in our thoughts and hearts. But let us also celebrate the vibrant energy and relentless drive that defines the BMX Spine Ramp final. This event is a testament to the FISE atmosphere, with the crowd cheering on these athletes as they soar through the air and perform groundbreaking tricks, sometimes even world's first. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up and get ready for an unforgettable showcase of BMX talent as we pay tribute to Pat Casey and witness the next chapter in the legacy of FISE Montpellier. Dustin, are you as excited as I am?
Oh, I cannot wait. This is such a blessing to get to be a part of this and host with you and just watch all the epicness go down this night.
So some of you guys might already know Dustin from FISE Beijing. He was my co-commentator then, and we got him back in the booth for this Spine final.
Yeah, thankful for the opportunity, and look at that sticker being placed right there. That's what's up, the Stoke. Huge shout out to Chase and Reed and Tatum. Much love, and the prayers continue for you all. Well, let's go. This is gonna be so rad. Look at all the shirts, all the Stoke. Pat Casey forever.
So we want to thank FISE for actually renaming the BMX Spine Ramp competition to the Pat Casey Memorial Spine Ramp Competition. Now, this is how it's gonna go. The competition format, we're gonna see 4 heats of 4 riders. They're gonna have 2 runs of 45 seconds, opposed to 60 seconds in the other competition we've seen, and the best run will count. And the City Plaza, City Square is still filling up with people that want to see the biggest talents in BMX Freestyle. Now, Dustin, what can you tell us about a spine ramp?
I mean, the atmosphere is set right there. Look at the crowd around it, under the lights. This is definitely one of the most exciting events to be a spectator at and to be a participant in. And these guys were fueling off of that yesterday, and now it's going to be even crazier tonight. The spine ramp, or W ramp, you got the spine in the middle, and this is a coping-to-coping spine as opposed to a street spine, which we saw in the park course. But let's look at the judging criteria.
So for judging, it's pretty much the same thing as we see on the BMX Park and UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup. So we're going to be looking at originality, flow and style, quality of execution, all those other criteria combined into one just judging by our judging panel. And we got him up in the right corner. We got Dave Cleworth, also known as Hank. We got Igor Vukadinovic from Croatia, from Pannonia Challenge, and Remy Adrix, one of the French locals. Now, we have 16 riders competing in this spine ramp competition, but a lot went down before that. We had qualifications yesterday. Dustin, you were there. You've seen some of the qualifications already.
Yeah, it was wild. The riders were definitely throwing down. And what's so cool about the spine ramp is you get to see a big mix of the high flying tricks as well as the riders getting technical and getting to showcase some of their technical abilities as they go back and forth on the ramp.
Now, these are some of the highlights from yesterday.
Jack, so crazy.
The Flying Dutchman Sam Kok. Ooh, that was Levi Weidman. Jack Clark with the tabletop. Sounds of talent from all over the world.
And we're going to send it to the MCs.
Montpellier historically the biggest and best action sports event in the world. Primarily one reason, these people behind me, the best crowd in the world, Montpellier, you can't beat it. You can see the back of my shirt. Tonight is all about Pat Casey. Spine Mini Finals is about to go down with the Pat Casey best trick. Let's meet our riders. Representing the Netherlands, Sam Kok. From Australia, 21-year-old Sam Grace.
A couple of hours ago, he was still riding the finals in the World Cup.
30 years old, representing Ecuador, Jonathan Camacho. First time to France, first time to the FISE, first time in the finals. 16 years old, from Australia, Keegan Pryor.
Youngest competitor in the spine ramp final.
Always a favorite here at the FISE. Representing Brazil, Madonna Cahoon. '26-year-old UK phenomenon, Kane Mitchell. Representing the Netherlands, Levi Wiedman.
We saw him in the semifinals with his 1080.
First finals for this UK beast, Mike Hollick. Representing Colombia, Juan Caicedo. Incredible to have this man back at the feast. Riding from the UK, this is Jack Watts. Another man with a lot of fans here. Riding for Canada, Max Chalifour.
Maxime Chalifour.
One of the current modern day superstars of park riding, Eric Rezaev.
He's known for getting technical.
The German machine, 24 years old. This is Dean Florian.
I have to say neutral, but this is one of my favorite riders in this final.
One of the greatest park riders of all time. Representing Australia, Brandon Lupos.
You got the silver medal a couple hours before.
I know we can make some noise for your second place qualifier. Representing France, Istvan Caillet. And your number one qualifier from Essex, England, Jack Clark.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the most anticipated contests in the world is about to go down. FISE, who's ready for some BMX? Let's go, boys.
So that's our first start list for the final. So we introduced 16 riders to you. They're gonna showcase their skills in the air, on the deck, on the coping, on the sub box, on the speed bump.
It is cool. This ramp has so much to offer, so many different variations. As you have the sub box, you have the vert wall extensions, you have the quarter extensions, and the roller along the side, just to be able to mix it up and have a lot of variety as they shred this ramp up.
So just yesterday, we had the Spine Ramp finals for scooter riders here, and it was insane what went down. And we're having some great conditions again. 90 degrees, maybe a bit chilly, depending on how cold or warm you are. But still, like, people are loving it.
This has been some of the most amazing weather I've ever experienced coming to the FISE Montpellier, and it has been such a blessing just being under the sun and enjoying it. But let's check this out.
So for our first heat, we're gonna have the Dutch Sam Kok, Samuel Grace from Australia, Jonathan Camacho from Ecuador, and Keegan Pryor, also from Australia. And they'll be getting 2 runs of 45 seconds each. Now, since this is not a contest that falls under a certain federation or certain sport, it can get a bit more freestyle. So that means if you want to try a trick and you failed in the end of your run, we'll allow you to do it again, just for the crowd. First rider is going to be Sam Kok.
And he's definitely a treat to watch. Definitely a good mix of flow, but then he was doing a lot of fakie variations and some different things in qualifying, so this should be sweet.
He just asked the guys on deck, make some space, so you know it's about to get down.
All right, and it's on. Getting it started. Off back, yes, 360 tabletop at height, straight into a look back. Come on, Sam. Check this out, coming at it. Giving us the wall ride right there. 360 turn down over the spine, clicking a table back over the quarter, and then look at this, starting to mix it up.
Oh, he's trying to go for like a 180 into a fakie manual with a cassette, which makes it even harder because you got a back pedal. Oh, look how flat he gets those tables. Yes.
Yeah, the space was there that time, and he got him straight into 180 over the spine. Let's go.
What?
Yes.
A downside Smith 270 out. You see, you can get really creative with this spine setup.
And he is a great example of clicking tricks. The tabletop, for example, clicks it all the way flat right there and holds it with classic fashion. Then the look back, all the way clicked, is beyond 180 degrees with the bars, and he did that perfect on the look back. And then he was right there on the 3 turn down, but straight into that tabletop at height, right up there, that Red Bull umbrella. And then check this out, balancing backlash on that, keeping it alive, and so good.
Like, as he swung his front wheel back, he almost hit the back wall.
Yeah.
60 points, and we're up to Samuel Grace, who dropped in already. Oh, double pack the sub box.
3 down whip over the spine. Come on, Sam. Keeping it going. He just had an epic showing in the finals, and look at this. Pegs 270 out. Yes, Sam. Finding his flow on a huge flare on the spine. Toothpick on the sub box. Yes, Sam. Bar spin over the spine. Flare. Just sliding out on that right there. It's so rad having him out here, and he is having a blast. First time out to Montpellier, and I mean, the smile says it all. The stoke is real for him.
So what Team Australia has done for this FISE Montpellier, they brought their whole Evo team or Evolution team over to have all these new talents to try and ride at the highest level possible.
Whoa, looks like he was pulling those bars in to do a tuck no-hander in that flare. We'll see in his second run if he pulls that off.
64.66 on Samuel Grace's first run. And as you can see, both these riders already had such a diverse style.
Oh, I'm so excited for Camacho right now.
John
He's
again.
in the overalls, but check this out. He was great friends with Pat and repping it right there.
Also, the story about Jonathan, he wasn't getting any funding from his federation, so he asked all his fans and friends to chip in a bit of money, and that all amounted to that ticket to get to France to FISE. 270 drop in, making quite an impression already with the judges.
Yo, going in both directions right there. Double tail whip over the spine, straight into a massive flare. Yes, Camacho. 360 bar spin over the spine, blasting the Samsung quarter. Bar spin on the spine, using it as a quarter, jumping into that vert wall right there, setting up for something. Look at this height, massive downside tail whip. Yes, Camacho, keeping the flow going. Over the roller, off the quarter extension, coming at the spine. Flare whip, let's go, Camacho! 540, backing it up, Camacho. Wow, what a run right there for Camacho. And the crowd is loving it as well. Look at the smile on his face.
Getting some hogs from Catfish.
Pat would always tell Camacho to stay on his bike, and that's what Camacho did right there, making it happen. Let's check out some of these replays. Double tail whip over that coping to coping spine. Getting that set up there so he could get into that flare tail whip.
Catching both pedals perfectly.
Score coming in, 71.5.
And another kid on the Australian Evo team. First time at FISE, first time this far away from home. We might have some Australians just waking up and seeing this stream. Good morning to you. We have Keegan Pryor. 360 triple bar spin.
Yes, look at the air key, 540 flare.
And Keegan keeps it going. Takes a lot of nerve to pull a 540 flare. Ooh! Went a bit flat here in the spine. Tries to keep the pump going, 540. He's gonna get technical here. Tail whip, bar spin. And that's gonna be it for Keegan Pryor.
Ce soir sur cette million spine. Vous avez pu remarquer.
All right, let's check these out. 1, 2, 3. 360 triple bar spin.
Like sometimes it goes so fast that we really need those slow-mo replays. Look at that, how he pulls that 540 flare. Landed a bit flat on that 360.
But keeping the pump going. 540 right there. He was using that portion as a half pipe instead of jumping over the spine, just using it as a half pipe right there in the end of his run. And the score coming in, 77.66.
So far we had stylish riders, technical riders, big air riders, all different types of riders in this Pat Casey BMX Freestyle Spine Ramp Pro Final. You can hear run number 2 for the Dutch style cat, Sam Cook. Wow! Look how high he goes, how he clicks those tabletops and those turnouts. Look at that, over-clicking it. Toboggan. Back with the 180, pivoting. Yes. 180 to spine. Oh! Was he gonna full cap the opposite way?
Having to jump off, but keeping it going right back on his bike. How's he gonna finish it up?
180. Full cap. Opposite full cap.
Yes.
The Smith 270. Make some noise, 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 noise. Well done by Sam Cook.
He was telling me this is his first time out here as well, and he just loving the experience, loving running into all the different fans as he cruises around the street, and it's just rad to see him shredding this ramp right now. Dipped in that 360 table right there, yes!
Oh. Twisting the bars more than 180 degrees. See, backpedaling, pivoting, back into a manual, into the ramp.
Precision right there. Wow, avoiding the media up there, avoiding the back of the ramp, just all of it coming in clean. Love it.
Well, look, the cameraman has to step back so he doesn't get hit by Sam Cook. And that's gonna be his first run score that we're gonna keep. No worries for Sam Cook.
All right, Sam Grace. Let's go, Sam. He's stoked. Starting up on the extension. What? Flare drop in off of the sub box. Yes, Sam. What a way to start the run. Off of the vert extension into the quarter. Downside tail whip right there. Bar spin over the spine. Double peg, dropping back into that Samsung quarter. 360 one-handed X up. Sam is in the zone right now.
Back with double pegs. 720 to spine.
Let's go. He was doing this alley-oop 720 transfer earlier, and so rad to see him 7 the spine.
Double back 270 out the hard way. This kid can do almost everything. And as we saw in the finals of the World Cup, he started off his run with that backflip drop in.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that was a trick first done, the backflip drop in by Ken Atencio.
Dave Mira.
Dave Mira,
Yeah.
right. Ken Atencio is another rider that does a lot of these flip drop-ins, but it was Dave Mira who did the first.
Yeah, he was the first one to do it. But check this out, Sam, 722 full rotations right there. Wow, hanging onto the bike, keeping the dream alive. Yeah, Sam.
Double peg grinding that sub box.
What's happening?
He saw Keegan's run and he thought, I gotta step it up. I'm gonna drop in with a backflip. And the points are in. 75. Moving up into the standings to that second place.
I can't get over that atmosphere under the lights. So rad.
I know we can get loud for a second run. Representing Ecuador, this is Jonathan Camacho!
Let's go, Camacho. Popping into that Samsung quarter. Massive air on the spine. Coming back the other direction. Straight into that double tail whip over the spine. Into a flare at height. Let's go, 360 bar spin over the spine. Huge tuck no-hander, airing the spine. And then jumping into that vert wall. Extension, 360. straight into a downside tail whip. Looked like he came off of the quarter extension right there. Getting the height with the tabletop. Hanging on over the spine, coming into his last 10 seconds. Come on, Camacho.
Oh. Ending his run strong with that flare whip and an opposite flare.
Yeah. Yes! Camacho going from the quarter all the way to flat with the backflip, standing on his feet. Yes, Camacho.
That's the Spine Ramp Finals for ya. Stuff like this happens. And the South Americans are cheering him on. A lot of South Americans here in Montpellier today.
Check out some of these replays. Huge tuck no-hander on the spine as a quarter instead of going over it. Big downside tail whip. So downside, you'll hear us say topside tail whip or just a regular tail whip or a downside tail whip. When it's topside, you're kicking the back of the bike up towards the sky. When it's downside, you're kicking it down into the ramp. So as you hear us use those terms, that's a little bit of detail of what's going on there. And the backflip off of the quarter down to the deck. Yeah, Camacho, and score coming in, 72.83. Huge smile on his face, doing it for Pat. That was awesome.
I think they included the backflip off the ramp.
Yeah.
It was 71.5 plus backflip. I mean, we've been seeing some great riding so far, and this is only the first heat of riders.
Representing Australia, Montpellier, this is Keegan Player!
All right, Keegan is stoked to be here. Ooh, getting a little steez over the spine right there. Roasting a big bar spin on the Samsung. Yo, 360 tail whip to tabletop. Truck driver over the spine. Blasting the Samsung quarter. 360 tail whip to bar spin.
And Keegan keeps it going. He's still in that first spot. Oh, flare whip. He wants to solidify that position. Keep that first spot in the ranking. 540 flare. Opposite flare. Truck driver to fakie. He's showcasing his skills. Quick little tail whip. And time for Keegan Pryor.
Let's check out these replays. Double bar spin right there. Coming over the spine, 360 tail whip to bar spin. Locking it in. Straight into bar spin right after it. Flare tail whip. Yes, Keegan, 540 flare. Straight into the opposite flare. I love when they're just able to link the combos back to back to back. Truck driver to fakie right there. Trying to make the most of every second on the clock, and the score coming in.
He's improving on that score.
6-6.
4 more points for Keegan, breaking that 80-point barrier. Wow. And we still got 3 more heats to go. So as the other riders will go down the ramp, the others get a bit of time to warm up. But that's going to be a tricky one to break Keegan's score.
75 even. So that's a 6-point difference. There's a lot of room there for these other riders to step in.
Okay, we're going to look at some of the highlights of that first heat.
If you saw parts, both the men and the women, absolutely incredible.
Alors on laisse un tout petit peu de warm-up pour ce groupe numéro 2 dans lequel on retrouvera un Brésilien, en anglais, en hollandais et en deuxième anglais.
That was some epic highlights, some top-notch riding from those first 4 riders, as they were definitely not holding back, making the most of their 45-second runs. But now we're going to go into our next 4 riders.
And that's going to be another heat of heavy hitters. We got the Brazilian Koen Madonna, the British Kane Mitchell, Levi Weidman from the Netherlands, and Mike Hollock.
Yeah, in qualifying, these guys were really going in. Levi doing all kinds of different spin combos, but then he was also breaking into some tech. Madonna had the biggest smile on his face the entire time. And Kane, he came on a mission. He wanted to really throw down and do some unreal tricks on it. So we're gonna see some pretty big tricks out of Kane, but right now we're gonna start with Madonna. Holding it down for Brazil.
So we're gonna wait for the MCs to hype up the crowd and to hype up Madonna. Is he gonna bring that Brazilian heat all the way to Montpellier? Catfish hyping up the crowd, TDB hyping up the crowd. This is gonna be insane.
Yeah, those dudes do such a good job of building the stoke for these riders. And here we go, Madonna is in. Coming over the spine, getting that speed. Look at that toboggan, just holding it in place. Let's go. The bar is so slow. I love the steeds that he puts on it. Look at that can blasting the Samsung. Sui no-hander over the spine, can tire grab. Wow, let's go, Madonna.
Combining all these classic BMX tricks. Make it
Candy
even
bar.
What? I haven't seen a candy bar in ages. Wall ride. 360 manual.
Come on, Madonna. He wants this manual up on top. I know he was doing it in qualifying. I want to see him get it here in the finals. All right, he'll have to come back for it in run number 2. Yes, Madonna. Solid first run in the books right there. Look at that smile.
I was surprised by some of the combinations he was doing, the execution of some tricks, like doing the bar spin, but he kept holding on until the last moment to actually loosen the bars and catch him again.
Yeah, just puts his special steez on. Look at that right there.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So instead of throwing it, he just lets it hang, actually.
Can tire grab right there.
Nice bar spin. That's the candy bar, where you kick your foot over the crossbar of your BMX.
The flexibility needed for that. Oh, what a fun trick to see here in the finals. Madonna score coming in, 69.33. I know he's got more in store for his second run, but great way to start it off for him right there.
Look at the city square, it's filled to the brim. Because they'll want to see Kane Mitchell dropping in. Also a FISE familiar face.
Another favorite here at the FISE. Let's make some noise for Kane Mitchell!
Like I said, in qualifying, he was really throwing down and looking for more of that here in his first run. Big Sui no-hander over the spine, gapping into that vert wall extension. Yo, double bar spin off of the quarter extension, straight into a flared tail whip. Yes, Kane. 360 bar spin over the spine, tuck no hander over the Samsung quarter. Ooh, 360 bar spin to tuck, flare tuck no hander. Yes, Kane.
And we're over halfway with Kane Mitchell. He keeps it going. 360 bar spin. The truck driver as we know it. Throwing the hands over that spine. Over the speed bump, getting some speed for that huge flare. Ooh, looping out. Coming in too hot.
Huge smile on his face still. I love all the different flare combos that he brings, and that's what I was saying. In qualifying, he was throwing down, and he's just got such a variety in his flares and what he's doing. We saw a flare tuck no hander, flare a tabletop, flare tail whip. Loving it. Coming off the back on that last flare as he is transferring from the quarter extension. But I think he'll be able to come back and handle that and run number 2.
I mean, the British have been all over FISE. We've seen them at the bar competition here in Spine with Kane Mitchell. Flare tabletop. You don't see that too often. Throwing the hands, a no-hander as we call it. .66. And our next rider in the full face helmet is Levi Wedman, part of the Dutch team.
Starting up on top of the sub box right here. Maximizing his speed. What's he got to start it all off? Boosting over the spine. Check that out. Huge 540 off of the extension. Yes, Levi. Into the flare. Levi back over the spine, keeping his speed going. Wall ride right there. Do a 360 tail whip. Straight into a double tail whip. Yes, Levi.
Wall ride, going back over that spine with the 360. Ooh, with a lazy bar spin. A double bar spin. Throwing the hands, 50 more seconds. Bar spin to foot jam. That's a cool combination. We're seeing the lip tricks now. Foot jam, 540 bar spin. Oh, that was the best no-footer we've seen this weekend.
Having some fun at the end there. Yes, Levi. Throwing down. That 540 to start things off of the extension was massive. All right, let's check out these replays. 3-whip right there. Check out the setup into this massive 540. Yes, Levi.
That's the double bar spin. So he throws it, catches it, and throws it again to regain that stability.
And showing some of his tech too, the bar to foot jam and then the 540 bar to cap off his run right there. Yeah, Levi. That sticker of Pat with the thumbs up and the smile, that was Pat. Always bringing the stoke. Score coming in for Levi right there, 73.83.
Our next rider is Mike Hollock.
Look at Catfish building the stoke, getting everybody rowdy.
Starting off strong with the foot jam on that sub box. Whoa, 360 double tail whip.
Double tail whip, yep.
I mean, doing this over a jump box is insane, but doing it on a spine, even more impressive. The Sui no-hander, flare bar spin. Mike Hollock is getting started.
Coming back on the extension, triple bar spin. Wow, Mike. 360 tail whip, catching the top. right at the top on the tail whip over it. 360 tug no hander over the spine. Locking in on the double peg. 360 bar spin. Oh! Going for the 900 at the end of his run. Whew, having to jump off, but it's awesome to see him jump right back up to his feet, go back up to the top.
I mean, that's a choice you gotta make. A 900 is a very exhausting trick. You need all that muscle. So doing that at the end of your run, I mean, it has some risk because you're already riding 45 seconds. So if there's no more gas in the tank, that's gonna be a tough one. So that's a 360 double tail whip, catching it perfectly on the pedals into a quick no-hander. Sui no-hander, throwing the hands backwards.
Landing right at the coping right there, which is huge for them to keep their speed. So as you watch these riders riding, if they land right at the top of the ramp, they're gonna be able to carry that momentum into the next ramp that they're going into. So the higher you land on it, the better your flow, the better your pump, and that's something that the judges are gonna be looking at. And on that one tail, he was as precise as could be at the top right there. Score coming in, 69.83. I know he wants that 900 in his second run.
I think if he does that, he's gonna break that 70-point wall and even higher.
Representing Brazil, this is
Yes, Madonna getting his grips all set. He's ready to rock and roll.
Bring that Brazilian heat.
Always bringing so much style and flow to the course. Massive tuck no-hander, full extension, and just hanging out in it. Soaring through the sky and holding that T-bog. Yes, Madonna. Yo, bar spin to turn down right there. Madonna is on it, yes. 360 bar spin, again, catching all the transition right there. Nose bonk over the spine. Manual on the deck in between the extensions.
Oh! Was he going for a lip pack trick, or was he going for that manual on top of the sub box?
I'm not sure. He can't tell what he was doing. We'll see what he's going and see if he comes back for it. Well, all right, that's the buzzer. Is he gonna come back for it? He's gonna let it go. Yeah, Madonna, again, always having so much fun. Biggest smile on his face, just enjoying the blessing, shredding the bike. The atmosphere, the spine mini.
Like
I do wonder what he was going for on that.
Yeah.
It almost looked like he was going feeble, but maybe trying to pop out of that into the manual.
I mean, the people would be impressive as well. So like you're riding vertical and then turn your bike into that feeble position with the backpack. Oh, look at that. Over twisting that toboggan, over 90 degrees.
That's how you do a toboggan right there. Look it up in the dictionary. That should be the picture. All right, let's see if they show us the clip. Ah, they didn't. It's all good. Again, the smile from Madonna, holding it down for Brazil. Score coming in, 61, so he's gonna stay with his first run score.
I want to stay alive. I don't want to die.
Does that mean that Caden Mitchell has something up his sleeve that might blow away the competition?
Some of the friends might have been trying to call something out for him. We'll see what he does. But again, watch these flare variations. Kane dropping in for his second run.
With the Sui no-hander over the spine, setting up for a big double, triple bar spin air, flare whip. Back over that speed bump, pulling up that speed. Ooh. Bar spin to no-hander, two tricks combined. Toboggan, 360 no-hander, flare, tabletop. He still has something up his sleeve for us, the no-hander. Something in that bag of tricks. Flare, no-hander.
Yeah, Kane. Throwing down a solid run right there.
Kate Mitchell
And in those white pants, you deserve the style prize. 1, 2, 3 bar spins.
The hot hands, passing the bars off, straight into the flare whip. That's an awesome combo right there. Flare table, again, landed right at the top of the transition.
Flare, no-hander. Throwing the hands while you're upside down. That is insane. And he gets a 77.33.
Bumping his score up 10 points. He'll take that. Look at the stoke. Let's go, Kane. Always so much fun to watch the riders get the runs they were looking for.
And the riders were saying themselves, it's not about planned tricks, it's about just having fun here in the city square of Montpellier, honoring Pat Casey.
All right, Levi coming in off the sub box, setting up for that huge 540 air. Wall ride on the sub box, 360 tail whip over the spine, straight into a double tail whip. Yes, Levi. Boosted, getting a good setup there. 360 double bar spin manual.
Holding it.
Giving some gratitude to the crowd right there. Yeah, Levi. Again, this ramp is all about having fun, and Levi doing just that.
Can. Ooh.
Slipping the foot a little bit on that can.
I want to see a replay of the manual.
Yeah.
And the standing still, and just the look in his eyes that he had. Like he was toying the public.
That's good choice. I didn't know what to do. I mean, you look lost at some point.
That's the 540.
Yeah,
Compressing his body, making it easier to spin. Combination of a 360 and a tail whip into that double tail whip, kicking the frame twice.
That's the only thing I wanted to do. It's a big fight. Get that shit, Mike!
360 double bar spin, and here we go. Bar spin, manual.
Standing up.
Uses the brakes. He's staring right at the crowd in that moment. Having some fun with it.
You did great, Levy. You did great.
So he's gonna stay with this first run score.
And next up, from Great Britain, they've gotten close to a golden medal, but still no victories here for Team UK. But can Mike Hollett maybe help him out and claim one? Let's see, 360 double tail at the spine, no-hander, 360 double bar spin, ball ride, sweet no-hander, oh, big flare bar spin.
Wow, Mike is on it, coming back. Yo, triple bar spin on the quarter extension right there. Popping into the Samsung quarter, 360 tail whip to bar spin, straight into a double tail whip. Man, he is linking massive tricks back to back. Come on, Mike, what's he got in these final seconds? 360 bar spin, 900.
Oh!
Just barely hanging that front wheel up on the top of the quarter in that 900.
I know it's not gonna count for his total score anymore, but I wanna see it again. I wanna see a 900 today. Come on. TDB or Catfish, hype him up. Give him one more shot. We've done it yesterday in the scooter spine ramp finals.
Sui no-hander right there, straight into a flare bar spin. Then watch this. 1, 2, 3 times around on that quarter extension.
You don't see a lot of riders do triple bar spins on this setup.
Watch it. Oh, it was so close to coming around.
It was his front wheel that was still on the deck while he was spinning.
Just barely caught the top of it. He almost sucked it in just enough to get it around. Oh, still an awesome run though.
So we're keeping the score from that first run, the 69.83. So our next heat of riders will be getting warmed up, but this is the current standings here in the Pat Casey BMX Spine Ramp Final. So we have the Australians and the British dominating that top 3. We got Keegan Pryor, who is still holding that first position with the 81.66, followed by Caden Mitchell and Samuel Grace. Well, let's see what went down in that second heat. And we're over halfway in this Pat Casey BMX Spine Ramp final. We already had 2 heats of riders, 8 riders in total, but we still have 8 more riders to go and shoot their shot here in Montpellier.
Yeah, and Heat 2 was packed with some craziness, so I am very stoked for Heat 3, and here's the riders. Got Juan holding it down for Colombia, Jack holding it down for Great Britain, Maxime holding it down for Canada, and Eric coming in clutch. Super stoked to watch him ride and just be here at FISE. He is always a treat, and the smile says it right there. It's fun getting to talk to him earlier, just see the videos, and he just dropped an absolutely insane edit called Only Bangers. If you have a chance, look him up on YouTube, and it is a crazy edit, so treat yourself to that.
So our first rider will be the South American from Colombia, Juan Caicedo. And this whole weekend, I've been seeing a lot of South Americans here at FISE, and they've been hyping up each other. It doesn't matter which country you're from, as long as they're South or Central American, they're their friend.
Yeah, he was throwing down earlier today, and I know he is gonna bring that excitement here again in the Pat Casey Spine Ramp. All right, check this out. He's getting in the mix. Looking for something over the spine, but keeping the flow going. Bar spin over the Samsung quarter. Bar spin right there. Going half pipe status, straight into a flare.
Look at him going on that jet fuel bike, can.
What?
Front flip the spine.
Wow.
You can see he was setting up for something, but I was not expecting to see a front flip on the spine here.
That is incredible. The front flip, that spine, so steep, so scary with the coping to coping, and he handled it like a champ right there.
And especially on a spine ramp, because like you need to transfer all your speed into height and no horizontal travel. But in a front flip, you're shifting all that weight forward.
Yeah. He's definitely got the front flips over spines locked in, as we got to witness some of those earlier today, but treat to watch it go down over the coping spine right there. You see him smiling. He's got more in the tank. He wanted that flare whip. Let's watch some of these replays, see if we get to see this front flip again.
Look at that.
Wow.
Perfectly. Pushing himself hard enough to get the height over the spine, getting the rotation, and landing perfectly at the top of the spine again.
And then here's the flare whip. Oh! Just barely at the top, and he knew it. He's gonna come back, second run. Let's go. That front flip was on point, though. I can watch that again and again.
I think we will be seeing that again in his second run of Juan Caicedo from Bogota, Colombia. A couple years ago, he was a FISE regular, and now he's back. Back to claim his throne, Jack Watts. 360 tail whip to bar spin, flare, no-hander, tail whip. The downside tail whip, kicking it down. 360 downside tail whip. The man has moves.
Such a powerful rider. Come on, Jack, keep it going. Huge flare bar spin right there. Tuck no-hander, keeping it going. Setting up for something. What? 540 flare, landing that so money. Yes, Jack, into a can-can tire grab. I love the diversity of tricks going on. One-footed X up right there, alley-oop flare.
And on the buzzer, he ends up back on the deck. Sending out love to all the people watching back home.
That was awesome. I really love the variety of tricks, from the super gnarly tricks to classic steez with the can-can tire grab. Let's check out some of these replays. Big flare, tuck no-hander. Again, downside tail whip, kicking the bike down towards the ramp. And then 540 flare. Landing right at the top of the quarter pipe right there. Then into a can-can tire grab. Again, love the versatility. Alley-oop flare to cap off his run. That was solid riding from Jack. Score coming in, 86.16, putting him at the top of the leaderboard.
I mean, looking back at his run, he ticked off all the boxes. He hit every time he hit the ramp, he did a trick, did a mix of tricks, beautiful style, flow, quality of execution. And that's our French-speaking Canadian, Maxime Chalifour.
Getting the crowd hyped before the run, cranking that tabletop from the quarter extension. Yes, Max. Double tail whip over the spine. Tail whip, oh! Reaching around with his foot right there, but getting it to the pedal, keeping the flow going. 360 double tail whip into a flare. Back-to-back combos. Bar spin, tuck no-hander, downside tail whip.
Allez, Maxime, keep it going. Jumping back into the ramp. 360 bar spin. Flared tail whip.
Yes.
Still got some more seconds. Oh, manual on top of the sub box. And a stretched no-hander to end his run with.
Wow. Max is stoked. Yes, holding it together on that run right there. That manual, he was having to pick, does he go into the vert wall or the Samsung quarter? He was right on the edge, squeaking over the Samsung quarter into that, but let's check out some of these replays.
So he's mixing the classic BMX tricks with the more technical ones, like this 360 double tail whip. as he lands, sets up again for a flare. Flare tailwind.
The Ratitude staring right at the camera. That just shows how much fun he's having with this. That was awesome, Max. Yes.
That's the best camera angle we ever got of a rider, just like smiling straight into the lens while performing a trick. 78.93. The next rider, he's gonna get technical. We're gonna need to replay his whole run in slow-mo because he's so fast. .360 double downside whip.
Yeah.
No-hander. Tail whip to no-hander. Bar spin, foot jamming the sub box.
Straight into a triple tail whip. No way. Eric, 360 downside tail whip. Coming in the other direction, downside tail whip. 360 over the spine. Whoa, right to tuck no-hander. Tire bonk over the spine, flare. Downside tail whip. Foot jam to tuck no-hander at the buzzer.
He even did that foot jam with his inside foot,
Wow.
which is even harder. And then pulling back, tucking your handlebars, and throwing the hands. That involves a lot of risk to do these tricks. See, that was a combination of that tail whip and the no-hander. And without a correction hop.
Yeah, bar spin to foot jam on top of that, and then triple tail whip over that coping to coping spine.
He had it all under control. Downside tail whip, kicking it down. And see, that's the foot jam, using that inside foot and then pulling all the way into the no-hander. So we still have Jack Watt's score to beat. And he's in the same heat as him. Is he gonna bring the heat? 84.33.
He's stoked, he'll take that. That has him in second place. Eric coming in again. I love the aspect of some pretty gnarly tech tricks as well as the high flying tricks. Eric really mixing it up, putting down a solid run right there.
I think he has one more thing up his sleeve. There's one more thing in Eric's bag. Look at that in the background. We got all the Colombian flags.
All right, we saw him go down in that first run, and I know he wants to clean that up. We saw that insane front flip over the spine. Come on, Juan. Tail whip over the spine. Massive flare. Bar spin, air in the spine. Tail whip air, looked like he had something else right there. Downside tail whip, bar spin. Setting himself up right here. 360 bar spin over the spine, into a flare.
We still have
over the roller.
Seconds on the clock. Is he setting up for maybe that front flip?
There it is, let's go!
Even getting a bit sideways as if it was a barrel roll. Bar spin, come on, 5 more seconds. Is he gonna get his perfect run? Oh! 2 front flips over a spine in one run.
The crowd is stoked.
Insane.
Yeah, those front flips are so awesome to watch. Such a gnarly trick to do.
Like he was going full gas all run. And he still had enough gas in the tank for a second front flip. Look at
He's
that.
so confident with them.
Even going a bit sideways to get a better landing in the spine ramp.
Yeah, able to spot his landing a little bit more because the front flip is such a blind trick. Once you go forward, you roll forward, you can't see your landing until it comes around. So he's able to rotate his body a little bit so he can spot that landing and be able to come in, which is so important on such a steep feature. Score coming in, 76.2. So that's going to better his first one, and he'll be stoked on that.
Our current leader on the leaderboard. He's back after a couple of years. Back here at FISE, dominating the spine ramp so far. It's Jack Watts.
Bar spin over that. 360 tail whip to bar spin straight into a flare tuck no hander. 360 downside tail whip, bar spin to tuck no hander. 360 double bar spin straight into a 5 flare. This is just back to back to back right now. Let's go, Jack. Flare whip. Keeping it going. Downside tail whip at height into a double tail whip. One hand, 1 foot, just letting it dangle. Check this out, big can on the Samsung quarter. 360 tuck no hander into a flare. Little 1 foot table. Wow, Jack. Just linking big trick after big trick, air to air without much setup. That's awesome riding right there.
Now, he already has a pretty solid score. With that 86.16. Look at that, flare, no-hander, 360 downside whip, kicking the frame the other way around. That's a 540 flare. That's a lot of rotations going on. The flare, sail whip, kicking the frame while he's upside down at double tail whip. That's another prime example of a downside tail whip. I love all these slow-mo images. That way we can truly appreciate the tricks these guys are doing.
Yeah, and he was keeping solid flow throughout his run. Wow. And there you go, score coming in, 88.4, bumping it up over 2 full points right there, and rightly so. He took that run to the next level. He was going higher, landing cleaner. Dialed riding right there from Jack.
I think if you want to beat Jack, you got to break that 90-point barrier today.
Yes, again, just let we tell you about the atmosphere, but there's nothing like it, and these guys are enjoying it to the fullest. Come on, Max.
He's got that French support. Maxime Chalifou, 360, bar spin to no-hander, bar spin into a double sail whip. Oh, he wants to get another trick in there as well, but he keeps it going.
360 double tail whip over the spine. Yes, Max, bar spin, getting himself set up. Huge tuck no-hander on the Samsung quarter. Manual and over the roller. Huge flare on the spine. Double tail whip. 10 seconds left. He is just going non-stop. Flare whip. Oh. Yes, Max.
And look at how low he did that flare whip. Even more impressive.
Yeah, he really wanted it. He's like, this isn't the ideal setup, but here we are. Let's go. Throwing that flare whip and just taking in the atmosphere right now. Ah, such an amazing crowd. Their support just fuels these riders to the next level.
Tabletop classic. See, this is the tail whip that he wants to do, an extra trick. I think it was a bar spin that he wants to put in there.
There's that flare whip, just making it happen right there.
Improving his score, 80.50.
Got him currently sitting in 4th place.
And from Maxime, we're going to Irek.
All right, we saw some burly tech, we saw some high flying. Let's see what he brings to us in this second run. The crowd is hyped.
And he is the highest place contender after Jack Watts. Tail whip drop in. We didn't get the camera angle on that one, but it looks like it was a tail whip drop in. 360 double downside. No-hander. A tail whip. Also looking for another trick in there. Like he wants to up his run. But he's gonna call it a day. Maybe something didn't go the way that he wanted it to. I mean, maybe he will do one more for the crowd.
Yeah, let's see if he has some fun right here. Yo! 360 nose bonk over the coping to coping spine. He's smiling, still having fun. Thankful to be out here. Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened, but I think a couple of the combos didn't line up how he wanted. He just decided to call the run right there.
I think it was it the no-hander that messed him up a bit? Because he wanted to throw in another trick there.
Maybe, yeah, he did that tail whip and was looking for the no-hander. He got it in that first run and not in the second. Again, always a treat to watch him ride, and please go check out his edit, Only Bangers. It is crazy. Really showcases his riding.
So the last heat of riders is gonna be warming up. We'll be introducing him after the highlight video. So stick around. Oh. So we'll be back after the highlights. So take a quick pee break, get a drink, some food. Welcome back to the Pat Casey BMX spine ramp. We just finished the third heat. Before we head into the fourth one, this is the current standings that we have. Still Jack Watts holding that first spot, followed by Irek Rizaev and Keegan Pryor can be finishing the podium. But, Dustin,
that was some unreal riding. In these next four, we are going to see some diverse shredding from each of them, and it's going to be a great way to cap off this already epic night. We have had awesome riding start to finish, and let's keep it going.
And all these different styles, and it's the same thing in this heat of riders. So we're going to have the German Dean Florian, very technical rider. Then it's going to be Brandon Lupos, who got the silver medal in the World Cup just a couple of hours ago. Istvan Caillet, a French local and also a legend. And then he's back, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Clark.
And he had me on the edge of my seat in qualifying, so I am very excited to see him in the finals. And Dean had some of my favorite runs out in the park competition. And then last night in qualifying, again, the flow that he brings to the spine ramp, it's so good.
His flow and his lip tricks as well. But we're gonna find out. 45 seconds of Dean Florian owning this ramp. 360 downside tail whip, flare. 360 double tail whip. Big, what? This did not happen. This did not happen.
No way, foot jam to tail whip on that sub, and he's right back to his feet. He's like, I'm gonna keep it going. Wow, Dean.
This man has such a diverse bag of tricks, like 540 foot jam, more like a 360 foot jam and then jumping out back into the ramp.
Absolutely sending it. Dean. Wow.
Bonsoir patron, il y en a un qui a fait une connerie. C'est Pierre, non, c'est pas moi.
Like, I hope the commentating table is strong enough because like I'm gonna break it if he's gonna land that trick that he had in mind.
That was right after a 360 double whip. Watch it.
Foot jam, sail whip out.
Oh, he had the feet on the pedals, it looked like. Wow, what an insane trick. Yeah.
43.33.
Pour le deuxième run, au fameux 9 notre ami Dean Florian.
I'm so excited to see his second run. I want him to get that so bad. What a massive trick to throw down.
A lot of fans here. He's been coming here since 2017. He's made a final every
A FISE
single year.
Budapest winner, a FISE Hiroshima winner, and maybe he can take the Pat Casey spine ramp win as well. It's Brandon Lupos in the ramp right now. Downside tail whip, 360 bar spin, big flare whip. Pulling back in, aiming for the spine, 360 bar spin, flare no-hander.
Yes, Brandon, blasting. Opposite flare. Yes, Brandon. Tail whip over the spine. Foot jam.
And he's doing this without breaking a sweat. Makes it look so easy, even though he's doing some of the most technical tricks in the world. Backflip to fakie.
Fakey.
I was hoping to see one in this contest, and he does one.
Brandon ripping it up out there.
And he's not only doing it for Pat Casey, he's also doing it for a friend of him, Luke, who passed away a couple of months ago.
All right, let's check out these replays. Massive flare whip. Locking in on those pedals. Foot jam adjusting, little speed change right there.
He's an absolute vibe. Wearing some signature
Backflip
gloves.
fakie right at the top of the ramp.
The signature fist gloves. Check on your mates. Mental health is real. We miss you, Luke.
Big smile on his face after that.
Judges got a tough job ahead of him.
Score coming in, 80.66. Got him sitting in 4th place right now. And still another run to go for him.
And now the crowd is gonna go wild for their Frenchie.
Says he lives just outside of town.
Tu la veux tranquille ou tu la veux énervée? Il a fait. Je la veux énervée, celle-là.
I'm trying to listen to
Il la veut énervée, Montpellier.
French commentator. That's TDB.
Français sur cette
Toma bringing the stoke. Listen to the crowd roar.
Like there's someone breaking down the spine ramp there.
He said he's just out here to have fun. He's just gonna shred it up, just enjoy the time out here and do some gnarly stuff along the way.
And he's already doing pretty good here, Istvan Kaye. Big flare. Foot jam.
What?
720. Wow. He needs more crowd support. If he wants to land at 720, the whole city square has to go wild for Istvan Kaye.
Je veux que tout le public soit avec lui. Tous derrière Istvan Kaye. Il va nous montrer cette minute de
The FC asking, I need everyone for Istvan.
So high on that 360 double tail whip right before that flare. The height meter as he transfers off that quarter extension. Then here's the 720. Ah, it's a little bit on that back wheel, throwing him off the back of the bike.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta shift your weight forward for a good landing, but you don't want to shift too much while you're popping off your ramp.
Yeah, double coping spine is such a gnarly feature to throw a 720 on.
I
Want to see him come back and get that in run number 2.
Our next rider is making a rentrée, a comeback.
Jack was one of Pat Casey's best friends. Let's make some fucking noise.
He's gonna tear down this ramp. 360 tabletop by Jack Clark.
What? 540 double bar spin.
A quick little downside foot plant. Flare. Sui over the spine. Foot jam, wall rides.
Yes, downside tail whip. Jack going in right now. What? Barrel roll invert, getting so dipped. Yes, Jack.
Oh, over
two.
thing. Canadian foot jam, ice pick. And a big no-footer to end his run. Oh, watch out, Jack.
Wow.
And he's having so much fun while doing it.
Utilizing every aspect of the spine ramp. All the different features, diversity of tricks.
Aerial tricks, stalling tricks.
Wow.
Foot jamming the wall. That's a 540 double bar spin. That is so difficult to perform. And that's the thing with Jack's 360s over his spine. It almost looks like he's going in a backflip. Going totally inverted. Oh.
You see him at the last second pick up that front wheel, come in as clean as he could right there. Had me on the edge of my seat. Yes, Jack.
Foot jamming on the coping. That's what we call a Canadian foot jam.
Ice over again, using his pegs, getting in the air, having a blast. Jack Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
I also want to take a minute to say this. You guys are all obviously invited to the party, and we like the party.
Score coming in 82.9. Has him currently sitting in 3rd place. It's like, all right. Still got another run, still got a few more ideas. See what we can do to mix up this leaderboard.
And now the man that was trying a foot jam on the sub box and trying to pull a tail whip out of it is the German Dean Florian. I know a lot of riders are looking forward for his run, all the technicality that he's gonna put in those 45 seconds. Starting off with the 360 downside tail whip. Big flare. Tail whip.
What? Yes, Dean. What? Tail whip to foot jam
tail
whip.
whip. Another foot jam.
900! Yes, Dean. Keep it going, man.
The foot jam, the foot jam. Oh, come on, man.
360 tail whip into a flare.
And the no-hander to fakie. Oh! I think that was outside of the time. So maybe it won't count anymore for his total, but still, what an impressive technical run by Dean Florian.
Dean lacing that 900. Wow. Flare at height right there, just the height meter through the roof.
Tail whip.
Clean tail whip.
And that's that 360 bar spin into a foot jam, pulling back into the ramp.
Tail whip straight into a foot jam whip. Wow, Dean. See if we get a look at that 900. Huge tuck no hander to fakie, just sliding out. Was after the buzzer.
I hope we get to see that 900 in the highlights.
Yeah, it was so clean.
But we still have 3 more riders. And look at his score coming in, 83.43. Getting on the podium. But still, we have Jack Clark and Brandon Lupos that have to ride their second run.
All right, run number 2 for the man repping Australia cycling. He needs no introduction, but he needs some noise.
Come on, Brandon.
Makes it 360 tuck no hander, foot jam on the sub box into a 360 downside tail whip, flare double tail whip. Yes, Brandon, keeping it going, popping off into the Samsung 360 bar spin over the spine, flare tuck no hander, massive bar spin, setting himself up, opposite flare tuck no hander. Yes, Brandon.
What a showcase of technicality, of power, double tail whip. Come on, Brandon, you got this. Pulling back into the ramp out of that wall ride, 360. 540 flare. Oh, you can even hear him bonk back into the ramp. Backflip.
Wow! Hammer after hammer.
Is there a legal amount of tricks that you can put in a run? Because I think what he just did is illegal. That was way too many tricks. Wow. There must be something in the water in Australia.
He is stoked. That was some solid riding right there, start to finish. Let's check out some replays.
Like, I want to see him go back home with a medal. I mean, 2017, 2019, he might have a great shot.
That flare double whip right at the top of the quarter pipe on the landing. Double tail whip on that quarter extension.
The opposite flare no-hander, making it even harder. And that's that 540 flare. And then coming back for that backflip to fakie.
And all you guys are invited to ride. Camacho. Camacho. We will have the best trick right after. If you want to ride, okay? We'll have the best trick session. Okay,
That was some massive riding from Brandon. Wait for it, there it is.
91.90!
Wow, everyone was like, wait. And the score comes in, 91.9.
There was an error in the scoring. It was his first score that we saw again, but his second score is at 91.90.
Brandon sending it and getting rewarded for it. So legit.
But we still have 2 more riders to go. 2 more riders who can have their shot at the podium. And they're gonna need a minimum of 84.34 to get on that 3rd spot, or that 91.91 for the gold medal. Oh, look at TDB. Everyone needs to be silent. Let's listen what he has to say.
Bon, c'est normal, on est à la bourse, c'est pas grave. Merci Pierre, tout à fait. On a fait 2 podiums français aujourd'hui.
We had 2 French
Si
podiums today.
Isvan donne tout ce qu'il a, maintenant,
We can have
on
a
peut
3rd
avoir 3 podiums français.
French podium.
Mais attendez.
Can they do a clean sweep today, the French?
Il n'y a jamais eu autant d'enjeux sur une finale de Mini Spine, jamais. Donc maintenant, vous prenez tout ce qui vous reste d'énergie.
Take all
Et
your
quand je vais vous
energy.
donner le top départ, vous allez hurler pour Isvan Caillé, pour le dernier Français en finale, ok? Montpellier! Est-ce qu'on est chaud pour Isvan Caillé?
Montpellier, are you ready for Isvan Caillé?
The crowd going wild.
Everyone,
What an introduction to drop into.
can Isvan take another gold medal today at FISE Montpellier in the BMX categories? Flare whip. Oh! Oh no. Keep it going, Isvan. Do it for the crowd. Do it for the fans. Do it for FISE. What a foo-foo on the sub box. We'll have the experts looking at that foo-foo, but I think he did it perfectly on the coping.
I wanted to see everything he had in store for that run. But still so much fun
He gave
to
it
watch
his
him
all.
ride.
I mean, qualifying as the 2nd best rider, that's already a huge achievement at FISE. I want to see the foo-foo he did on the sub box, because the thing about a foo-foo is you need to do it on the coping. If it's on the deck, it's not really a foo-foo anymore, it's more of a tail tap.
Ah, the flare tail whip just not fully coming around. Ah, you see it in his face. He's been lacing that every time. But again, still love his joy and his passion for riding.
But mentally, he's the winner of this competition. I mean, he had all the love from his French fans, from his French friends, the other riders. But now, there's only one more rider in this final, that is Jack Clark. Can Jack Clark jump from the number 5 position to the podium, to a bronze medal, a silver medal, a gold medal? We're gonna find out right now.
Here we go, 360 bar spin to tuck no hander, going from the Samsung into the vert wall. Big downside whip from the quarter extension into it, Sui no hander. Again, roasting over the roller. Check this out, massive 540 tabletop. Yes, laying down the tooth. Whoa! Oh! No, you saw that front tire lift off the ground right before, but he was in the zone.
Like, he was going so fast, his bike couldn't keep up with him. But he keeps it going. Come on, Jack. Ah! But what an entertaining run by Jack Clark.
Wow.
So we're gonna have to wait for his score to come in.
Yeah, that was crazy. His front tire was landed a little bit back. Front tire came off the ground, but I know as a rider, when you're just in the zone on what you're gonna do over the spine, you just keep going for it and just let him go out past the transition. But here we go. He's back in the mix.
He's got to do another crowd pleaser. And we're loving it as well, and I think all the viewers at home too. Oh, watch out, Jack.
I chipped my bars on the roller.
So it's not official yet. We have to wait for the scores to come in.
Oh, that was awesome. 540 tabletop right there. Just sliding into the, and then right there, you saw his front tire off, but he was still in the zone. So the legs were preloaded, and when it came out, just let him keep going over past the transition to the flat bottom. Thankfully, he got out of it all right and was able to keep riding and put on a little bit of a show for the crowd afterwards. Still riding as we speak. Yeah, second run score coming in right there, 42-33, so he's gonna keep his first one. He's got him sitting in.
So after FISE World Series 2017 Budapest, after FISE World Series 2019 Hiroshima, here at the FISE World Series 2024, taking home the gold medal is Brandon Lupos. And that's the final results list you're gonna see. But this is not the final BMX competition. We still have BMX Street and Flatland tomorrow. And now, for the next FISE World Series, we'll be heading to Shanghai.
Series last graced the international stage. In 2024, we're in Shanghai. I'm the main event. Ain't no back before, let's get it. Let's in it, put it in love, okay with it. Ain't nobody in front of me. Ain't nobody in front of me. Ain't nobody in front of me. You can try to prove me wrong and try to give respect.
And that's for October this year that we're heading back to China. We were in China last year, right?
Yeah, and it was such a treat and excited to get back out there again at the end of this year.
Sounds like a bird.
So as we're setting up for the podium ceremony, we want to thank all the riders for watching this stream, for being here at the event, or for just having Pat Casey in their hearts.
Yeah, so awesome. What a rad way to celebrate him and his riding. Just have the crowd going wild, having the riders going in.
Well, let's take a look at that winning run of Brandon Lupos. Oh, look at that. That was that flare double tail whip. Look at that flare no-hander. His run really stood out from the competition.
Yeah, banger after banger. Massive double whip on that extension. Thing is very steep.
That 540 flare and backflip.
Yes.
Now we're gonna let Catfish and the riders take the stage for the podium ceremony.
A contest that was You guys at home have to have your jaw on the ground. One of the best competitions ever. I got my friend Teo here. He's gonna pass out the checks. He's got a lot of fans out here. The best part about the feast is we make friends everywhere we go. Let's do this. In third place, Eric Rezaev.
Oh, tu la prends la photo?
Go hand him the check. Go hand him that check.
Ah, il est fatigant, lui. Hein. Enlève le cash. Du bruit,
Catfish always so good at interacting with the crowd, and like you said, making friends everywhere.
Les mains en l'air, les mains en l'air, les mains en l'air, les mains en l'air. Ça, c'était bien raté comme lancer.
Teo's got some fans. All right, Teo, come on back. We need you again.
Teo.
In second place, from the UK, Jack Watts.
And he's glad to be back at FISE. Being back on that FISE podium, what an honor.
And your FISE mini ramp 2024 champion from Australia, Brandon Lupos.
And he's getting his prize from the
Pellier,
head honcho of FISE himself.
faites du bruit pour eux, s'il vous plaît. Jack Watts, Eric Rezaev. Restez bien avec nous, s'il vous plaît, les amis. On a le best tricks qui arrive. La soirée n'est pas finie. On a encore sous
that's
le
your
coude
podium.
du bruit
Eric
pour
Rezaev,
Brandon Lupos.
Jack Watts, and the winner of the Pat Casey BMX Spine Ramp competition, Brandon Lupos.
Fatigant, hein?
Some incredible riding represented in that podium right there. Wow,
Et faites-moi un
what a
maximum de
night
bruit
we've
pour
had.
Pat Casey, s'il vous plaît.
And a round of applause for Pat
We
Casey.
love you, Pat.
We miss you.
So
Let's
cool.
get a quick interview with the champ. It's been a couple years since you've been on top of the podium. Back in action, how does it feel?
To be honest, man, I didn't know if I was ever going to get back up on that top step after all the injuries, after everything I've been through in my life. I've got to give it up to my great partner, Romy, for keeping me in check. Oz Cycling, and obviously got to thank all my sponsors by sticking beside me, making sure I don't give up. And I just want to say to everybody, if you have a dream and you have a goal to get there, you can do it, because if I can do it, so can you.
Make some noise for Brandon Lupos!
Les amis,
Those were some touching words
est-ce qu'on
by
s'arrête
Brandon.
là?
There was
Est-ce
no
qu'on
better
s'arrête
way
là,
to
Montpellier?
honor Pat Casey.
Yeah.
Est-ce que vous en
And what
voulez
a way
encore?
for Brandon to take back the stage at FISE.
Yeah. What a night. Truly a blessing to get to be a part of this with you.
We want to thank all the people watching, all the people here at FISE. We'll be back tomorrow for some more street action with the BMX of Flatland. See you tomorrow.
You.
Ok.